Just like it was mentioned in the last module, we are trying in ACA to give you an overview of every program that you could pursue. So in this module, we're going to be talking about our university transfer degree options. Now, I realize not everybody in ACA is interested in transferring to a university. Just like in the last module, not everybody's interested in applied sciences and health sciences. Again, I encourage you, however, to keep an open mind, because you never know what the future may hold. So I still think for everyone, this information is valuable to know. So what are your transfer options at Carteret? Now, in the last module, we did have some applied sciences and health sciences universities that have some specific agreements with some very specific universities. But if you're interested in broad transfer, you have the option of Associates in Arts, Associates in Science, Associates in Fine Arts, Associates in Engineering, and Associates in Teacher Prep. So I want to touch base on each one of those quickly. The two big ones are the Associates in Arts and Associates in Science. That's typically most of your transfer students. Now, Associates in Arts does not mean that you're going into the art field, like you're going to be a painter or a drawer. That means you're going into a field that's not math or science heavy. Maybe you go into like psychology, or you're going into history or something along those lines. You can see the requirements there on the left-hand side for your Associates in Arts students. Every transfer student takes English 111 and 112. Associates in Arts students have to choose 3 humanities and 3 social behavioral sciences. They have 1 math course they need to choose from, 1 science course they need to choose from, and then we have what we call gen ed electives and then pre-major electives. So we have to choose a certain number of credit hours from each of those categories. The big difference with your Associates in Science is, of course, the math and science. You can see you have a little bit less humanities and social behavioral sciences, but you have more math, and you have a different list that you have to choose from, and then you have 2 science courses that you have to take in a sequence. So what that means is, like if you do biology, you can take biology 111 and then you take biology 112. And there's a little bit difference in the number of credit hours. We also have teacher prep degrees. These degrees are specifically for students that are going to become teachers. So you see there is a set list of education courses that those students have to take. Your fine art students are your students that are going to go into an art field, whether it be drawing or painting or graphic design. There is a set list of art electives that those students have to take. And then our final transfer degree is your Associates in Engineering. Those are going to be students that are going to go into an engineering field. You can see there is a set list of math courses they have to take. There's a set list of science courses they have to take. And they also have to take Engineering 150. I do want to mention Fine Arts and Engineering, whereas our Associates in Arts and Associates in Science and our teacher prep can pretty much transfer to any of our 16 public universities in the state of North Carolina. Fine Arts and Engineering, there is a set list of universities in North Carolina that are public that will accept these degrees, because these are the ones that actually have a fine arts program or an engineering program. Now, in the last module, your assignment was to upload your degree plan. Now, if you were a transfer student, you probably noticed that your degree plan looked a little bit different than the degree plan I showed in the video. That's because transfer students don't have that set fall, spring, summer plan, because it's a choice. So I did want to pause for a second and show you your degree plan and how you read it. So this is the Associates in Arts degree plan. Again, last week you should have uploaded these as part of your assignment, but I did want to show you this is where your choices come into play. So English, everybody takes English 111 and 112, but you get like to this next category and it's going to tell you right here, select 3 courses from 2 different disciplines, and then it says you can only take 1 comm course, or it's recommended to only take 1 comm course for this section. What that means is I'm going to choose 3 from this list. I don't want them all, for example, to be all 3 art classes. It has to come from 2 different disciplines. And then you get to the next section. Again, it's going to say select 3 courses from 2 different disciplines. You want to make sure you pay attention to these notes here, because it's going to tell you exactly how many courses you need to take from each section. And then we have math, we take 1. Natural science, you take 1 from this list. Of course, everybody takes ACA. And then you have your list of electives. So this down here at the bottom is going to tell you how many credit hours you need to take. You don't need to take all of these courses, But this is how many credit hours that you can take from this list here. And then you have down here at the bottom, you have your other required courses, and this is another list that you need 14 hours from. It's going to tell you at the bottom how many hours you should take. I do want to mention from each of these elective lists, you can take classes from the top here. So if you take 3 classes from this list, but you want to take a 4th one, anything that is listed up here at the top can count towards either one of these elective lists down here at the bottom. So do know that is an option for you. Now, I just showed you Carteret's degree plans, and in that part I said, select from this list, select any class that you want. Well, Carteret does say as long as you choose from the list that we provide, we'll grant you your associate's degree. However, your universities have specific classes that they want you to take at the community college level to transfer into their bachelor's degrees. They don't want you to just choose classes at random. So what these public universities in North Carolina have done, and some of our private have done, is they have created what we call transfer guides. These are guides created by these universities that are going to spell out for you exactly which courses they want you to take to fulfill your bachelor's degree. So one of your assignments this week is to upload 2 of these transfer guides. I just want to ensure that you're taking a look at them. This is not guaranteeing that you're going to choose these when you get to the university. It is not making you declare a major, but I do want you to know where to find these guides. I want you to know how to read them, and I want you to know how to use them for planning for your classes. So a link that you're going to find this module under lesson resources is this page here, which is your transfer guides. So I do want to point out you can search by institution here, and you can actually search multiple institutions. You can enter a major, or you can choose to leave this blank if you just want to see everything that that university is offering. I'm going to choose East Carolina, and I am going to choose accounting because that is something I'm going to show you in a minute how to compare these two. So when you pull this up, you can view it, or you can just go ahead and download it. Now, downloading it, go ahead and do that because that's what you're going to have to upload this week as part of your assignment. But just to show you what these look like, at the top of every transfer guide, you're going to have the contact information if you have questions, which is a great resource. And then it's also going to tell you at the top, how do I get into this specific major? So if there are program requirements for admission, it's going to list them here. This is specifically what you have to take or what GPA you have to be enrolled in this program. Right here is where you're really going to want to pay attention. This is a question I get from a lot of transfer students is, do I need to go ahead and take a foreign language at the community college? It will specifically tell you in this section whether or not you need to take it. Some degrees require it, some degrees do not. And then we get into what college or what classes should you be taking here at Carteret to fulfill the requirements of this major. So a while ago I told you, yes, you have all these choices that you can choose from, but do you actually have a choice? And that depends on what's listed here. So for example, if I'm an accounting student and I go to choose from my social behavioral sciences category, one of the classes I'm going to take is Econ 251 because that's what's required for this major. It says it's a required course. And then if you keep scrolling, it's going to tell you, well, these are sections in which you have a choice. So let's take for the science section for this degree. It's going to tell you, yes, you need to take a science, but we're telling you, you can choose whatever preference you want to choose from there. So these are the ones that are required. These are the ones that, yes, you have to take it, but you're going to get a choice here. You get to choose from that pick list. And then it's going to give you any additional information down here at the bottom that you need for this major. And then the last part of the transfer guide, this is your junior and senior year. So these are the remaining classes that you would have to take to complete that bachelor's degree. From this screen, you can go over here and you can print and then choose save as a PDF. Or again, if I go back one page here, this is where you're going to want to download it. So you can download it. It's going to save directly to your computer. this is what I'm asking you to upload as your assignment for this week. Now, if you want to save it to your desktop, you can hit download again, and it's going to give you the option to save it to your desktop here. If you're a transfer student who is undecided about where you want to attend or what major you want to pursue, these transfer guides are so beneficial because this is telling you exactly what it is you're going to have to take if you want that particular bachelor's degree. Let's say I just pulled accounting for ECU. Let's say you're like, well, maybe I want to do accounting at Wilmington, or maybe I want to do accounting at Chapel Hill, whatever the case may be. Pull a bunch of different transfer guides and sit down and compare them. And that's what I'm showing on this slide here. Make a list of required courses for ECU, make a list of required courses for Wilmington. The ones I have highlighted are the ones they have in common, and then you look at their differences. Like, for example, Wilmington does require 3 levels of foreign language. ECU doesn't. ECU requires Business 115. UNC Wilmington doesn't. So you can see they have a lot of commonalities, but they have a lot of differences as well. And I think this is really going to help you as a student narrow down where it is you want to go. If you're undecided and you're trying to decide what classes you're going to take, then choose the ones that are highlighted because these are the ones they have in common, and that buys you some time to really figure out where it is you want to go. If you have questions about university transfer, make sure you reach out to me. Go ahead and ask those questions now so we can figure this out early on.